Good morning in another podcast. In this podcast, we will cover some of the common idioms in English that we need in order to master this beautiful language. And these idiomatic expressions are the acid test to determine that your English is amazing. So when the next time you say, "My English is fluent," your actions speak louder than your words because you can prove it that your English is really amazing. And in order to avoid adding insult to injury when you exaggerate that your English is really fluent. In this time, we are running against the clock in order to amass as many idiomatic expressions as possible so that we become knowledgeable about how and where and when to use these idiomatic expressions. For you to be ahead of time with the mastery of idiomatic expressions in English, you need to make sure you review them every day for at least 14 days. And you need to have all ears for these expressions wherever they are used, whether that's on radio or on TV programs or on social media. Sometimes you need to access some software programs that will help you improve your skills in language. And I shall warn you that some of these software programs cost an arm and a leg to be able to obtain them and to use them. However, these programs, despite the fact that they cost an arm and a leg, they are around the corner. They are around the corner at your desk. They are around the corner at your desk, and you can access them anytime you want. And they will keep your learning and skills of English very active. You will notice as time goes by that your skills started to become better. Sometimes your friends tell you, "Wow, your English is getting better. Who is your professor that is giving you training?" Then you will say, "Professor Walid has an interesting training course that you can watch for free on his YouTube channel or on his Facebook page. They can contact me. They can reach me at the drop of a hat. They can reach me at the drop of a hat. They can reach me at the drop of a hat. They will find me only one message away." Now, back to the basics, back to square number one. The first thing you have to do is to have a plan and to have a vision about where you're heading with your language skills, and try as much as possible to have a measurable or scalable plan. Something like, "I will learn the top most common idioms in English." That way, you will give your subconscious mind the clue that will need in order for the brain to process things and functions accordingly. Now, back to the drawing board. Sometimes you meet with bad apples. They are your friends, they are your colleagues, it doesn't matter. They will give you negative feedback about your English. They will say, "Well, your English is terrible. You will never learn." Please don't follow what they say and don't believe in what they say. The ball is still in your court. The ball is still in your court. So you can play around with the basic skills that you have. I find it interesting. I find some learners are barking up the wrong tree. They're looking for sources that are not necessarily contributing to the learning of this language, but it just makes them more frustrated. We call them, they beat around the bush because they are not aiming directly at what their vision is or what they want to be. So I want you to be the clock and be ready to hit the ground running in your process of learning of idioms in English. If you have a bee in your bonnet, please feel free to share it with me. We can collaborate together to make it a project or a plan or a useful video for your followers and your friends. Some teachers use behind the times approaches, and I find it very frustrating for students. Now, we have so many ways. My professor used to say, there is no one way. There are ways to learn language. Now, the new lessons that we provide have so many bells and whistles that you can use in order to beautify your English by checking every single page, trying to learn something from the videos, from the documents we share. I guarantee you, they are the best of both worlds. 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 And some people go far, and exaggerate by saying they are the best since the sliced bread. And some people exaggerate to say they are the best thing since sliced bread. Sometimes we fall behind to provide the exact information we want to deliver to you. However, if you're an older person, if you're in your 50s and in your 60s or 70s or even 80s and 90s, you can still learn, because in English we say better late than never. I want you to also go to YouTube and find Big Cheese to follow. They're influential people, President Obama or King Abdullah of Jordan. They're really interesting people. Some people bide their own time because they want to see if there are any updates, that occur in language learning and teaching, so they can catch up with these kind of trends. However, I think the chances is still in your court right now. I think the ball is still in your court right now. As we say in English, a bird in the hand is worth two on the bush. In English, there is no black and white. You can start with any way, since that way leads you to where you want to be. So don't fall for criticism of your friends, and don't be the black sheep. Try to do what you find suitable for you, according to your skills, and I guarantee you will become so much better. Have a wonderful day.